What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? It is Obiss, and I'm here bringing you some Dark and Darker content. And today, I'm going to show you how to escape from the Dark and Darker dungeons, I guess, or dungeon. I guess it's one. I don't really know exactly. So, the first thing that you're going to need to do, or decide, is are you playing in a group, or are you playing solo? I happen to be playing solo right here, and that kind of changes everything. So if you're playing solo, I personally think that there's only one class that you can choose, and that is Rogue. Rogue, you can go invisible, you can pick locks. If you are trying to loot, Rogue is the best class so far to loot the map and actually exit out on your own. The first thing that you're going to need to do is buy a weapon from either the weaponsmith or whoever, depending on who you're playing. I mean, if you're playing Rogue, like I suggested, you're probably going to need to go to the weaponsmith and just buy a regular dagger from him. It doesn't need to be anything fancy. You don't buy any of the green daggers or anything. And that's only if you have money. If not, the default weapon is just fine. It'll do fine. You're trying not to kill anybody. You're trying not to get into any fights if you don't have to. If it's a 1v1 fight and you think you can get the backstab on somebody and you think you can get the jump on someone, then probably take the fight. It's easier to eliminate the person and get rid of them if they're right in front of you and they have their back turned to you like that, than it is to just let them pass on by and let your invisibility wear off, and then you have to just fight them. After that, the next thing that you're going to need to look out for / do is look for traps around the map and make sure that you are avoiding them. There's a lot of floor traps. There's a lot of floor traps in the dark. They're the easiest to avoid out of the two trap sets that are in the game currently. Right now, the wall traps seem to be giving me the hardest time in the game, so be wary of the wall traps. And you will be able to see the wall traps marked on the map. I'll try to find some and just show you right now. The next thing, and probably the last thing, if you've avoided all of the PvP that you can and you've gotten enough loot that you think you can get out, then the next thing that you're going to want to do is find a blue portal and get out. The blue portals only seem to spawn after a certain amount of time in the raid, so you're going to have to wait at least a certain amount of time before any of the blue portals spawn. And even then, when the first blue portals do spawn, it's normally one or two, and they're normally on like the outskirts of the circle. So you might get lucky if you're around one of them. If not, then keep making your way into the center of the circle and keep just trying to look out for any of the blue exit portals. Once you've found one, as soon as you have enough loot, then I would suggest maybe taking off and leaving. If it's one of your first raids or something, or one of your first dungeon encounters, then probably just dip and take your loot and get the hell out. If not, I mean, I take the gamble a lot. I try to fill up a lot on loot. I try to get as much as I can. I know that there's other blue portals that are going to be spawning, especially when I'm solo. If you're in a 3-man group, then it's a little bit different. You kind of have to take the blue portals as they come and just keep like trying to move, because odds are the blue portals that you do get aren't going to be together with you, so you end up having to take just a random blue portal and leaving a few of your buddies behind, or vice versa. But the majority of the time we do end up making it out, all three of us. A little bit of a recap: so you're going to want to buy a weapon before you leave, before you enter the dungeon. Just a basic gray weapon. It's going to give you a little bit of a damage boost and a little bit of a, help you with some of the enemies that are just around, and just help you even in PvP if you get in PvP, especially in the early wipe of the beta or alpha test, whatever it is, the playtest, I guess that's what they're doing. So in the early stages of the playtest, it's definitely a lot better to, be picking up the gray weapon from the traders when you can. Secondly, watch out for traps. One of the last things that I want to note is champion skeletons and elite mobs. There's wraiths. I would consider them an elite, even though they're not. Well, I don't know what they're classified as exactly. They don't drop that great loot, at least from my experience. The champion skeleton, that was one of the only ways that I got a golden key. I don't know if that's the only way that you can find golden keys in the game currently. I never found one in a chest. I didn't find one any other way other than from killing the champion skeleton. and he's going to be the guy. I'll try to show you a picture right now, but he's got the shield, he's got a little bit of armor on, and the sword. He's got like a 3-swing combo. He's a little bit of a mess. He will take out full squads easily. So you're going to need to watch out for him as well. If you see him, just avoid him at all costs. Just shut the door and run away, like, if you can. It's normally the easiest thing to do. Also, a little bit of a side tip. You're going to want to shut doors on people if you're running away from them. Let's say you run into a 3-man squad and they're trying to chase you down. The best thing that you can possibly do as the rogue is to run, is hit X, put your weapon away, and just try to shut as many doors as you possibly can on your run away from them and get as much distance between you and them as you possibly can. I don't know if I mentioned it before or edited it out, but you're going to want to probably take some damage from the zone if a 3-man squad is chasing you. And lastly, you're going to want to find the blue exit portals and get the hell out. And that's going to wrap this up. I've been rambling for a very long time. Hopefully this is a quick, easy guide to help you get on your way in Dark and Darker. Hopefully this helps you survive a little bit more of the dungeon. Like I said, the rogue seemed to be the easiest. If you didn't get a chance to try the rogue, I would definitely suggest giving it a shot. And that's going to wrap it up for me. I'm Obiss. Peace.